So I'll explain part of the problem I'm having at the end of this video with the doctors. But first, let me explain some of the feeling and the description words to describe this neurological condition. So it starts on the spine, where the spine meets your neck. Nowhere in your head, just where your spine ends. Just right there where it meets your neck. It's like a taser lightning feeling that really kind of, I guess I would describe it as pain, but it's very hard to describe. And it shoots down your spine into your limbs. Now, my skin at the end of my limbs, where my hands and feet are almost like almost a numb feeling. And during this numbness, when I'm trying to catch something like a football or move my legs or do ballet or anything like that, I don't do as well because of this numbness. I'm not able to, quite coordinate my body. It's like, if you put your limbs into ice, it's very numb. It also shoots down my legs, and sometimes when I was a kid, all the way from 7 to, I would say, about 20, my legs would shake. I could redirect this to my left or right leg, and it would shake it, and it would do its own thing, but I would have control of the rest of my body. So one limb would shake repeatedly, but the rest of my body wouldn't. And sometimes if my left arm shook, the rest of me would be good. If it's very hard to describe. But while this is going on, I'm getting shooting, lightning, tasing feeling going down my neck, down my spine, shooting into my limbs. And my limbs are numb. Now, sometimes I lose control of my limbs and I shake to the ground. Or sometimes I can squat, stop using those limbs, and that will give me control of the rest of my body, like my arms. So I stop using my legs or my mouth, and I can use my arms better. I stop using my arms and look down, so I'm not using my eyes, and my legs work better. I can, you know, coordinate my signal to a one limb better, and it will shake less, it will hurt less, there'll be less taser feeling going down my neck and spine. Now, this numbness causes things like coffee mugs. Sorry, I just walked home and crawled a little bit, and my GI is hurting, so I'm a little worked up, as well as I'm dried out like completely, and we're running low on water. It's really hard for me to carry water home, and our water's disgusting. But, anyways, let me continue. Oh, okay. I cannot drink cold liquids out of the fridge because when the cold hits my stomach, that sends that same pulse of electricity through my spine. If I'm outside in the cold, I will get this. The cold will hit my skin, cause a shake response, and that will send more lightning down my spine, and I'll lose the ability to use my limbs at all, as well as the numbness gets much, much worse. Now, while this all happens, I'm being told that I'm crazy and it's a mental illness, or I'm making it up, or don't worry about it, it was a long time ago. So I'm also being twisted in the head. I'm trying all these other pills that are making me go up, down. The doctors are telling me this, the doctors are telling me that. I'm repeating this, I'm repeating that. My mother's telling me this, I'm repeating that. This person's telling me this, I'm repeating that. So everything's getting screwed up and I'm getting worse. This is my main issue. Now, if this sounds like a mental illness, then you're the crazy one, because this is a neurological disorder. And I know when it started, and I've done my research. It's usually caused by brain damage, something like that. OD and a slowdown of breathing could be responsible, as well as years of medication I'm sure didn't help. Now, that's my disorder. But the problem is that explaining all of this is very difficult, especially when it's cold. So during winter, I try to play these recordings for them, but yet they kind of dodge the question, or they just want to say, well, just spit it out already, or they're not quite good at listening and spending time with their patients. And my case is all over the place, as well as my past records now say I'm a crazy person. So they always want to just run it right to mental health. So, of course, I'm going to get worse if we keep on running this to psychiatrists and mental health people. It's a neurology problem. It's for a neurologist. It's a nervous system problem. That's it. That's all. I mean, as far as the mental, yeah, doing this to a child will fuck them up. Luckily, I found religion, prayed, did lots of therapy, and I'm over that. But I still need to get this better. I'm over all that stuff. I'm not mental anymore. Yes, I'll be hyper, and that might be something I have to treat. And I got my anxiety under control. I mean, I might need that to take less pressure off the nervous system. But if we fix the neurological disorder at the heart of this, the rest I can handle on my own. I mean, anxiety comes with life, especially with the people I've got, seen in the shelters, knife point, robbing me. I mean, I've had so much abuse in my life that it's just like I don't even care anymore. It's that I've just processed all of it in therapy. I did found something that worked for me 2 years ago. I pray. I have an open like kind of diary, and I openly tell people this, and I know I'm doing the right thing, and I know which path to follow. So it's not that hard for me, and I'm able to let this go. But I am going to pass away very soon if I don't get a license and get this neurological problem under control so I can pick up more hours. It's either that or Social Security. With Social Security is out of the question until my father admits some of this. There's no way he's going to, so that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to have to work, but before I can really put the hours in, my neurological disorder has to be fixed. Now I can keep having seizures at work. I can keep getting stuck in the cold, and that's what I'll do as soon as the GI is fixed, because then I can at least do some of what I got to do to get paid. And they'll have to be minimum wage jobs until we get something for the neurological disorder, the numbness in the skin, the lightning going down the spine, the numbness, the falling down, the having seizures. I mean, I'm not on drugs anymore, so that's easy. That makes things a lot easier. As well as I did report this as a child, that makes things easier as well. But if no one helps me or wants to believe me or do anything about it, well, then there's not much I can do.